Hello there, how are we? Hope you're all well. Hope this video finds you all in good health. Yeah, and hope you're all having a good week. Weather ain't too good here today in London. It is dry at the moment, but it's very overcast, dull and grey. The weather ain't been too good lately. Well, last month, June, well, I mean, it was up like 34, 35, but it's summer, isn't it? I don't understand what all the fuss is about. You know, what was they going on about last week? It was going on about in the weather and in the news. Because you have people making videos. I've got a list of guys that I subscribe. I subscribe to their channels. I post a lot of their stuff. So if you go on my page, or if you're up to date with anything I'm posting, you'll know the sort of guys I'm watching. Guys I take notice of, and they're absolutely spot on. You know, there's so much BS surrounding this net zero, global warming, stop oil. What was that mob? A couple of years ago, I was a bit quiet at the time. Rebellion, rebellion. Can't remember the full name of it now. There's so many of them, and the thing is, they're all government funded, these people. You know, when you look into it, and I have done, you look at the Labour Party, there's a little group there, I can't think of them. That's like the Fabian Society. It's like, the Fabian Society is a secret society. You know, it's like, for instance, I suggest, like, if you're interested, right, and I'm trying to educate people, that's the idea of what these videos are for. And the purpose of me coming on here and doing what I do is pure and simply to try to inform and to try and educate people in the rights and the wrongs, the justices and the injustices that are continuously, on a daily basis, occurring around the world. On a daily basis, you know, every day, unfortunately. I'm not one that I like to moan up or a grown up. If I see an injustice, then I do. Because I don't like it. I don't like being wronged. I'm not the sort of person that thanks people. Maybe for a simple thing like I invite somebody into my home and they pinch a Mars bar, and I go to that Mars bar, and it's not there. And I know there was a Mars bar there, because I bought it that morning, and I particularly left it in a certain place to have later in the evening when I fancy a bit of chocolate or something, which I often do. I often have a bar of chocolate in the evening, or something, or a biscuit, or, you know, when you're sitting watching a film, or just sitting relaxing, reading the newspaper. I don't read newspapers, but reading a book or something. I've started reading a lot again lately. I did buy a lot of David Icke. I don't have them now because what I used to do was I used to read them, hold on to them, read them again, and I'd give them away to people. I say, have a look, you want to have a look at this? You know, this David Icke, he's a conspiracy theorist. Well, he's not. He's a very clever man, and whatever reasons, I don't know what it is, some form of, I don't know, he's got a way of describing it. I'm not even going to attempt to describe it, but some sort of spiritual awakening, which I am aware of. I am aware of spiritual awakening. I'm aware of what it is and the power that it can have on people. You know, when they suddenly find God, if you like. When people suddenly find, you know, strength and hope in Jesus, and they find Christianity, and then overnight they change. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've experienced it. I've experienced it myself. I experienced it myself when I got sober in 1996. You know, I considered myself after 15 months to be walking around on a cloud. People used to say to me, members and good friends of mine, even still today, that always remain nameless. I don't talk about people that, or what goes on inside AA or personal business. I talk about how AA works. That's not a problem. I'm an AA member. I still am. Once an AA member, you're always a member of Alcoholics. You never leave it. People that go to Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm going off on one again here a little bit, but it didn't come on here to talk about this, but I'll come on. This is how I am. But this is what I said in my last video. I want to just try and keep these videos to maybe 2, maximum of 3 subjects, depending on the length of the video. If the video's half an hour long, I'll spend 10 minutes on maybe 3 subjects, and then I'll move it that way. I'm still learning. I need to prepare myself a bit more than I do. I understand that and I accept that, and I know this will probably work. I know it will work a lot better. But I'm trying to go somewhere with this, you know, and I'm trying to explain while making these videos and also talking about certain issues that are going on around us, you know, for those that are unaware. I know there are those that are fully aware of what's going on. They know more than what I do. They probably look at this video and think, what's he on about? He's about 10 years behind the times. And well, I probably am. I don't know. I'm catching up anyway. All I know is I do talk about a lot about things that I was involved in a lot in 10 years ago. It's now 2023. I was involved big time in 2011, 2012, 2013, massively involved in this. I was putting out videos. In fact, I've even tried and come across, I will have a look and see if I can find a couple of old videos that I put out there back in the day. Well, 10 years ago. But yeah, getting back to Alcoholics Anonymous. The way Alcoholics Anonymous works is pure and simply by identification. You go to an AA meeting for the first time. I'll give you my experience. My name's Stewart, I'm an alcoholic. I'll keep my mouth shut anyway for the first half a dozen, even 12 dozen. I'll keep my mouth shut, I don't have to say nothing. I'll just go along and sit there and shut my mouth and drink my coffee and have a biscuit, which is normally put on offer. Well, it is put on offer at all meetings. There's a tea, coffee available and biscuits. Sometimes if you're lucky, it's someone's birthday. AA birthday, you know, they're celebrating their 8th anniversary or something of sobriety without a drink, without a drug. And it's surprising what it does to people. It still today makes me quite emotional when I talk about it, because I don't talk about it. I never have spoken about it. I've never said a word to anybody about it. All the years I was on the buses, I never used to go down the pub with the boys, but no one ever questioned it. I was in a job prior to going on the buses for 4.5 years in security, working nights. And there's only 3 of us that used to rotate on the night shift, but we used to rotate with the day shift. They'd be going off, and we'd be coming on. You know, and it was always a case of, oh, Stuart, why don't you come down the pub like at 6 o'clock tomorrow night and have a few beers with us before you come to work? You know, and all this sort of thing. Well, it's not a good idea, is it, really? You know, but there was a time I would have done that, and there was a time I wouldn't have gone to work. I'd have gone down and rode with that crowd that were my work colleagues, of which there was about half a dozen of them in the total, day shift and night shift. I used to be on the day shift and I transferred onto the night shift. And it was always peer pressure. Come on, Stu, listen, mate, I don't drink. What do you mean you don't drink? I don't drink. I used to drink. I don't drink anymore. I'm sorry. I haven't had a drink now. It was about 18 months. I was very young, 18 months into it. sorry, I don't drink, and it's pressure on a daily basis. It's amazing for somebody that cannot drink, that is an alcoholic and is supposed to be or should be, if he's a responsible person, and when you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, this is the things you learn. I'm going to come to Alcoholics Anonymous and I'm going to spend 10 minutes talking about it in a minute. Because I think it's very important, because there are a lot of people out there that are suffering with alcohol problems. There's so many people, there's probably more people with alcohol and drug problems than there is who suffer. Well, it is a mental illness anyway. You know, but I'm going to come to that. I'm going to try and explain it, because it's very important that people understand, because there's a huge stigma around people that, you know, maybe sit on a park bench and they're sucking on half a bottle of scotch out of a brown paper bag. You see it in the movies all the time, don't you? I know it's the movies, but the movies do portray real life in a lot of cases. Anyway, I'm not going to go up on that one, but getting back to Alcoholics Anonymous, people need to understand that I've learned by going to Alcoholics Anonymous that alcoholism is a two-folded illness. It's a mental illness and it's also a physical illness. Right, now I'm going to talk about the mental illness, the mental illness side of alcoholism. The mental illness side of alcoholism, like anything, starts with an idea, doesn't it? It starts with a thought. Right, so I'm an alcoholic. I wake up in the morning, right? I've had a good drink, right? And I'm, you know, I need a livener, right? I've got to have a livener, right? So, starts with an idea. I need to have a livener. It's irrespective. It doesn't matter whether it's 6 o'clock in the morning or whether you've woken up and it's 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and you've collapsed on the bed at 8 o'clock, 8:30 the night before. And now you've woken up, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, whatever time it is. Head for the fridge, you crack one open. Right, and you're fucking gone again before 8 o'clock, aren't you? You know, now you're wobbling around the street, right? This was my experience. Right, and this was my experience after my wife passed away, when I got bang on it again, back in 2015. By 2016, I was bang on it again. I was on it anyway from back in 2012. I started to pick up a drink, as I've mentioned, I'll say it again, 3 days short of 16 years. So, alcoholism is a mental and physical illness. And it starts with an idea, I need a drink, I've got to have a drink. So, no, you don't. The idea of not having a drink because of the consequences doesn't enter my head. It doesn't enter my head. It doesn't enter my head. I stumbled through the door last night. I've lost my fucking wallet, which has happened to me. It happened to me. Right, it happened to me. I'm not quite sure whether it was just before my wife passed away, it was just after my wife had passed away. But it happened to me. I lost my wallet, credit cards, debit cards. I had £80 in cash in there. I had me busman ID, blue card, the European driving licence thing it was. I lost that. That went with it. I lost the driver's licence, everything. All that had to be replaced. And it was a nightmare. Total nightmare. I had to borrow money. I'll tell a story. A good friend of mine, he lent me £200 till I got it all sorted out, because it was a Saturday morning. You try sorting something out on a Saturday morning when you just lost your fucking wallet on a Friday. Sorry, excuse my French. When you just lost your wallet on a Friday night. Because I was pissed. I didn't know what I was doing. And so it's a mental or physical illness. The mental illness is the fault. It don't even enter your head. I lost my wallet last night. I've got to have a drink. What do you mean have a fucking drink? And is finding your wallet more important? No, it's not at the moment. I need a drink. Having a drink is more important than finding my wallet. Right? That's how sick I am. I'm not a bad person or nasty person. I'm a sick person. I'm a very sick person, whether I be a woman, a man, a female, or a man. It doesn't matter whether I'm a doctor, a judge, a lawyer. This illness has no respect for the people. I've met them all. I've met them all in the rooms, as we call it. We don't say Alcoholics Anonymous when we're together. It's a secret society, if you like. We know how to keep a fucking secret and all. Excuse me, there's my French again. It's basically a secret society. When you go into this room, and most of them are like church halls. It might be a community centre, it might be a local medical centre. It can be anywhere. It could be the local Methodist church hall, the Catholic church hall. Most Catholic church halls hold Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. Because most Catholic churches have got little social clubs with bars and everything in them anyway. I know the one I used to go to, with my local church, I used to go, I'll go to the one over the road where I've been in 2 years. I'm getting back into that though. I was talking to my sponsor the other day, my old sponsor. I'll come round to that. It's another story. Yeah. So, you turn up at Alcoholics Anonymous and you listen and you identify. You just sit there and don't have to say nothing. Hello, who's your name? Yeah, what's that doing? That seen before, don't you fella? You look like you're in the right place. That's what he said to me. Mate, I'm going to mention his name. No one knows him anyway. No one knows what I'm talking about. So, because he's a mutual friend of about 4 people, and we're all alcoholics, and we all know each other from the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. I know so many people I've got, even today I know lots of, I sit over there and they wave for me as they go by. I'm sitting there having a drink. You know, someone's 25 years, 26 years sober, you know, used to talk to me, spoke to me for 16 years, one of the first guys I met. Now he's about 28 years sober and I'm on the lash, so he don't talk to me anymore. Which is rightly so, his right thing, he's doing the right thing. I don't hold a grudge against him for that. Because if you're a practising alcoholic, you're drinking, if you're practising sobriety, and you're practising, which you are practising. You've had 24 years on the lash, in my case, which I had. I was 40 years of age when I got sober. I'd had 24 years at it. I've been drinking in the pub since I was 16 years of age. I've been drinking since I was about 8 years of age. I was buying cider when I was still at school and drinking it behind the bike sheds when I was 14. With a couple of pals. In the summer holidays, like, we used to climb over into the school. Stevie Langer know what I'm talking about. We'd go and buy a couple of bottles of cider with a local lock licence and jump on a bus and go up to the school in the summer. We'd go up Wimbledon Common as kids. We'd get hold of anything in them days as kids. We were kids, we were shrewd, we were clever, not like this lot of day, they ain't got a clue. Run around with their faces covered up, wearing masks, thinking they're gangsters. I don't know what a gangster is, mate. I've come across a few of them. I'll give one of them a map all the other day. Told him to stay away from me. Get that round the fucking mouth, you know. Anyway, here we go off on a wander. So getting back to Alcoholics Anonymous, you go there, don't have to say nothing, you sit there, listen, you identify what people say, and you quickly come to learn. If you go to enough meetings in the early days, in that first 3 months, you try to go to 1 meeting a day, that's what's suggested. You go try to attend 1 meeting a day for 90 days. You don't have to say nothing. Just go along, go to 1 meeting as well, get a regular meeting, or even 2 meetings, or even 3 regular meetings a week that you go to every week. On a Tuesday, a Thursday and a Saturday night. Just go to 3 meetings. Don't have to do, you know, you can do what you like, it's suggested. You're not told what to do or ordered about what to do, it's your prerogative. People go to Alcoholics Anonymous that are clearly pissed. You know, they disrupt meetings and they are quickly ejected. Not harmed in any way, but pitied. People Someone I love and care for very much, a couple of weeks ago, says I had no idea what he's talking about. Right? Because he's suffering from certain illness. Well, I do understand what he's talking about. When he was having a conversation, he knows who he is. But unless you're in there, people go to the pub and have a drink. They can't understand why people go to the pub and get lavers every Friday and Saturday night. They end up getting barred, like I used to. I was barred just as recently as 4 years ago, just about 6 months prior to COVID. I was barred from the pub over here. That's 4 years ago. I was still at it 4 years ago. I haven't been into a pub in that 4 years. I don't go to the pubs anymore. It's too expensive anyway. And I think lockdown helped me because I got used to not going to the pub. I couldn't help myself. I was trying to manage on £200 a fortnight employment support allowance. And I was going to the pub, doing 60 quid down the pub on a fucking lunchtime. Yeah, from 12:30 till like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'd do about 60, 70, 80 quid. You know, you're getting company. It's like £6 a fucking pint. Well, that's £6 a pint now. Well, you know, that's straight away, that's 36 quid. Straight away, that's 36 quid. You have 6 pints, it's 36 quid. 6 is 36. And in my case, you have about 8 pints, that's another 12 quid on top of that, isn't it? So it's like 48 quid. By the time you have fucking something to eat, a bit of fish and chips, if you know, if you're going to be bothered half the time, I don't bother when I'm drinking. That's a secondary matter. It's not. That's something of not importance. My alcohol comes first. Well, what's anonymous? Works. It works if you work it. Well, there's so many sayings, logos, if you like. You go in the room, they're everywhere. You've got 12 steps up, step 1, step 2, step 3. And step 1 is you come to believe in a power greater. Well, you come to believe that your life's become unmanageable. Basically, through drink or alcohol for whatever reason. If it's alcohol, if it's AA, then it's alcohol. So you've come to this meeting because you now believe you've come to the stage where your life has become unmanageable and you're now seeking help. But only the alcoholic can make that decision. Nobody can force him to do it. He's not going to do it because you can march into an AA meeting and lock him in a ball and chain. Right, sitting there for an hour and a half, because most meetings last an hour and a half. The average meeting's an hour and a half long. And you'll go there and you'll listen to someone speaking, like I used to do many chairs, they call it a chair, you'll be invited. You might have spoken at a meeting, or your own meeting that you go to on a Saturday evening. In my case, I was secretary of a meeting. So by being secretary of an AA meeting, basically, you're running that meeting. It's your responsibility to go to meetings, other meetings in other areas of London, and invite people to come and speak at your meeting. I'm a secretary of a meeting in, I'll say West London, won't say where. I'm secretary of a meeting in West London. And it takes place at 8 o'clock every Saturday night in a church hall somewhere in West London. So I'll go to a meeting somewhere in, say, Wimbledon, for example, on a Saturday night. On a Saturday night, obviously, because I'm looking for someone that speaks on a Saturday night, goes to a meeting right on a Saturday night. Sensible thing to do, isn't it? I'm a bit smart, me. I'm too clever for my own fucking good sometimes. And I've had people, I can say, who I've spoken to, and some of the guys I've met in AA, because they've been fully open and contrite. They've wrote books, wrote stories in newspapers. They're well celebrated and documented, so I'm not telling those stories out I've met Tony Adams in Alcoholics Anonymous. I met him loads of times. We got to know each other very well. Tony Adams, ex-England and Arsenal footballer. Ex-England and Arsenal football captain. I've met lots of famous people in Alcoholics Anonymous. You'll be amazed. You'll be totally amazed at some of the celebrities and people you see in Alcoholics Anonymous in the rooms. And I swear to God, I would never cross my heart and hope to die mention anybody's name that I've met in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, and nobody does. Nobody talks about it. And one of the reasons why is to think people were proud to go out and say, I was at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting last night. You know who I met there? You know who I met there? Tony Adams. Yeah, you know Tony Adams, the ex-Arsenal football and England captain? Well, I wouldn't dream of it. But like I said, it's been well documented. He's wrote books. Let me show you something. If I can find it. Let me think. I can't find it here now. I know it's here. It's probably still tucked away. It's probably still tucked away somewhere. But here's one. I'll show you. I don't know if you see that. It's Paul Merson. Rock bottom. Paul Merson. Right, I don't know if you can see that because it's obviously it comes around, shows up the other way around on the screen there. That's another book, Psycho, Stewart Speaks. I love my autobiographies of footballers. I don't care if they play one of these guys, I don't care. I've got respect and great admiration for some of these, especially guys like this. Stewart Speaks, what a man, what a fucking man he is. He ain't no woman in a fucking skirt, I'm telling you. He's a proper man, a proper geezer. You know what I mean? Don't mind the odd fucking beer and the odd fucking curse here and there. Proper geezer. Hard as nails. Yeah. Anyway, getting off the subject a little bit, I'm going to go in a minute. Because I am very tired. It takes a lot of energy out of me these days. I'm getting older and it does take a lot out of me. The work I have to put in and the research and making these videos and all sorts. It's all time consuming as well. You'll be surprised how much time and effort you actually put into it. But Alcoholics Anonymous works, keep it simple. Don't pick up a drink and you won't get drunk. Work the steps. It works if you work it. Got a 12-step program. It suggested you maybe do one a month. It took me a year. I went through the program. Then I had a problem because I went to a football match. And Tony Adams was actually at this meeting. I'm not going to say, well, it was in Wandsworth. This meeting was in Wandsworth. And Tony Adams was actually at this meeting. And I mentioned the fact at this meeting that I'd had a bit of a run-in with my sponsor. And, you know, you ask people, the idea of having a sponsor when you go into Alcoholics Anonymous is you get to know somebody quite well that you can maybe relate to and, you know, you come to know pretty well. Maybe go to a coffee or something after a meeting, because that's what a lot of the guys do, and the ladies. Sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 ladies. Woo-hoo, nothing like that, of course. Go along with half a dozen guys and then go to like Costa Coffee or something after the meeting on a Saturday night, maybe have some little, just a cheap fucking whatever, croissant or something and a cup of coffee and have a chat for half an hour, and it's all good. It's all good, it's all socialising, it gets you out of the house. And I used to enjoy going to AA meetings because it does work and you meet so many people. I loved it in the end. It was no hardship. I went to AA every day. Some meetings I went. In my first year, I kid you not, some days I went to 2 meetings a day. Some days I went to 3 meetings a day. I remember one Christmas Eve, over one Christmas period, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and Boxing Day, I went to about 6 meetings. I went to 2 meetings on Christmas Eve, I went to 2 meetings on Christmas Day, and I went to 2 meetings on Boxing Day. And trust me when I say AA does work. It doesn't work for a lot of people. It does not work, I have to be honest. I've always said I'll be open and honest with you. I'm not trying to sell AA to everybody, go to AA, mate, you'll get sober, not a problem. No, it is a problem. It's a massive problem. And it's very, very difficult. It's very, very hard work. When I first got sober, this was me on a pink cloud. This was me. After 6 months, I'm jogging around the streets, I am. I'm 40 years of age, I've become a jogger now. I'm going to go in the London Marathon, I'm going to fucking win it, you know. Because that's the arrogance. And also, you come to realise all these things in Alcoholics Anonymous, because they are basically defects of character, and all alcoholics are basically the same. Yeah, you know, an alcoholic can be laying in the gutter, right, with half a bottle of scotch, obliterated, right, don't know what day it is, let alone what time it is, let alone where he is. But it still call you an arsehole as you walk by, because you won't give him 50 pence. He'll start abusing you, calling you all the names under the sun. Because he's grandiose, his ego won't allow him to accept that, yes, he's an arsehole. He's not an arsehole to him. He's a poor sod. Poor me, poor me, poor me, another one. Listen, I've got a drink and I'm lying in the gutter and I'm pissed out of my nut, sleeping in the street and I'm homeless and I don't know where to go. Because no one loves me. If only people would listen to me and do what I tell them to do, the world would be a perfect place and I would be so happy. That's the alcoholic, a controller, a boss, a governor, that likes to boss people about, not boss them about, but manipulate people. They're devious, they're cunning. In a lot of ways, I was never that sort of alcoholic, but in a lot of ways, they're a little bit clever. You've got to watch them. Well, obviously, you know, drugs don't different as drug addicts. It's a drug. Shoplifters go shoplifting because they want to get their fix for the day. Shoplifters go shoplifting because they want to get their bottle of gin or their bottle of vodka or their bottle of scotch. Or they want to nick 6 bottles of scotch, they'll keep 2 back for themselves, get rid of 4 so they can get their fix and they can get their drink and their drugs. And they all end up the same way, they all end up in nick. So it's a shame because none of it ever works. You've got a system that fails society in every form, shape and manner. They fail people. These people, they're not sick. Well, they are sick. They are very sick. But they're not bad people, they're not nasty people. They're just very sick people trying to get well. That's what I am now. I was well. I was quite well. I was doing very well. I held a job down as a bus driver. I was a union rep for the company I worked for. I didn't like the way the union were going about their business. I didn't like the way I was being spoken to by supervisors and those that work behind the counter. And those that are there to supervise, not all the people about, right? And start sending them home from work because they're 2 minutes late, or they ain't got a tie on, you know, or they're wearing a dirty shirt. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what anybody's going through or what anybody's problems they are living in, but they've still got a job. They've got pride and they've got dignity. They're not alcoholics. Well, I was. But that was between me and the wolf, right? And I won't be spoken to, right? When I'm 45 years of age by a 25-year-old tosser, right, who wants to make a name for himself. So that's why I became a union rep, yeah? Because I didn't like coming into work to find the rotors had been changed, because I was going on holiday, right? And I was coming back to a certain job that I'm no longer coming back to because they've changed the rotor without any notice. Well, I changed all that. Me. When I became a union rep, that all stopped. A lot stopped, trust me. I'm going to mention a few things that stopped because I spoke about Alcoholics Anonymous and now I speak about myself a little bit and the job I used to do. And why I think it makes me well equipped to do this sort of thing. Because I used to represent drivers that the company wanted out the door. They just simply wanted them out the door because their face didn't fit. You get that in any walk of life. In any walk of life, no matter what industry, it's no different anywhere. You can get it down the market in Shepherd's Bush. You know, you're not selling enough stuff. The guy's not making enough profit out. Fuck off. Don't come back. Don't come back no more. You're wasting my time, you know. You're supposed to be making a profit, mate. You're supposed to be giving me 10%. Because all this sort of stuff goes on behind the bar. You want a licence? Well, 10%, mate, or whatever you make on a Saturday, yeah? No problem, governor. Well, you ain't making nothing. He ain't making nothing. So you can jog on because he wants someone in that spot that's going to give him his 50 quid on a Saturday, along with the other 20 guys. Because he's making a nice few quid on a Saturday very much out of what he does. Knocking out licences out in the local market. Whatever market, whatever walk of industry, this is what goes on today. The world's so fucking full of corrupt and criminality, it's laughable. Police force? What police force? I mean, I'm going to end on this because I've got to go. Got to say a dog will walk. I mean, if you've just been burgled, right? This is the conclusion now they've come to. If you've been burgled, right, you come home off holiday, right? Yeah, you find all your jewellery gone, right? You're a wealthy man, right? You don't really give a shit, really. But if you're a normal, average Joe like myself, right? You know, you come home, your telly's gone, your iPod's gone, your furniture's gone. Because you were stupid enough to post on Facebook that you was going on holiday, you're going to be out of the house for a fortnight. I'm going to Tenerife, I'm going to Corfu, I'm off to Australia for 3 months next week. Is any surprise you come home, you've got no home left? Anyway, what do you do? Oh no, I'll phone the police. What would you expect the police to do? They don't do nothing, are they? They just come round, they give you a crime number. Go, oh yeah. Right, yeah, okay. What's the time? Yeah. This is the police for you, right? They go, right, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, right, yeah. And what time did you get home? Yeah, okay. And what's your name? Yeah. Okay. And what was missing? And what would you say was missing, Mr. Frampton? Oh, right, okay. What's his 2 bucks? Must be so lucky. Oh, the Rolls Royce was in the garage. The keys was in the glove compartment. Unfortunately, I left the garage doors open. Stupid me. Oh, okay. This gets better by the minute, doesn't it? Right, there you go. Right, here's a crime number for you for the insurance purposes. Yeah. My number is 1803 and your crime number is 123, done it again. Right, okay. There you go. You came up with insurance, but that's about it. You're never going to, there's no point in reporting it to the old bill. You know what I mean? There's no point. You know? That's the only reason people report a crime to the old bill is so they can get a crime number. They get given a crime number, it's been reported, and they can now claim on the insurance. That's the only reason they report a crime. Otherwise, no criminality will be reported because everyone knows it's a waste of time reporting anything to the old bill. They ain't going to do nothing, are they? Anyway, got to go. Dog's driving me nuts. I've enjoyed doing this video. I hope I've made a little bit of sense and stayed on track. A little bit more. But don't worry. It can only get better. It can only better. The sun does come up in the morning, no matter how bad things may seem. That's what I always used to tell myself, because I know one thing's for certain in life. Nothing stays the same forever. And with that thought, you probably hear my dog lapping away at her water bowl here. When she starts pacing up and down, it's time to make a move, and I ain't been up long. I just put a shirt on just to make this video. I've got to go and have a shave and a shower now. So, it's Monday. Love you all. And I'll speak to you all again soon. You look after yourself. Take care of each other. So long now. Be lucky. Keep it simple.